Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be starting a brand new campaign for Total War Warhammer 2. We're going to be doing Brettonia with Leoncour. Sorry, I'm not French. I can't pronounce that properly, but I think it's Leoncour. Something like that. So special thanks to Adam for sponsoring this campaign. If you'd like to sponsor a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'm happy to set that up for you. Right now, it's just $30 for at least 15 episodes. If we don't have other campaigns waiting, then we might do more than that. If it's a particularly interesting and dramatic campaign, we might keep going a little bit longer than that. But these are after the changes with the most recent Skaven and Lizardman DLC. A lot of people have been asking for Brettonia. Now, I did test this out a little bit on the stream, and for those of you who watched that, it was a little frustrating. I was trying to do the lady down south, I'm blanking out on her name off the top of my head, the Carcassonne, the Fey Enchantress, and it was a little frustrating, but I think that with Leoncour, it's going to be a lot more doable, a little bit more action-packed early on. We'll see. I mean, now one thing that I think I am going to have to do, unfortunately, is I am going to have to farm some of these Greenskin rebellions early on. I really don't like doing that. I like to go all out. I like the action. But the problem is, like with Brettonians, they have a really hard time sieging early on because they don't have anyone that can crack walls. None of their heroes can break walls, at least as far as I'm aware of. And they do not have good infantry at all, so it's very difficult to scale the walls or to fight them in close quarter combat. Now, we do have some field trebuchets, which can be pretty useful. Those can knock down walls over time, so maybe we can give it a whirl. Maybe we can give it a try. They do have 9 to start with. We are going to fight Marienburg on turn 1 here. We'll see how the fight goes. We might do it, but we might also just fight some Greenskins early on. We'll see. I mean, if we win this really decisively and we hire 3 more units, maybe we can siege Marienburg on turn 2. We'll see how it goes, but we are going to be getting some Greenskin incursions if we don't kill Grunt Zent, and this is going to be a lot harder to take early on because they're going to have 12 units to start with, and then they also have 8 here. So that's going to be 20 units early on, which is going to be difficult to deal with. But Leoncour is going to be a pretty strong lord overall. Some of the main benefits is, number 1, he's just a good fighter, and that's one thing the Fey Enchantress does not have. She does do the little AoE damage, and we will get her. We're going to try to confederate with all the Brettonians. But he's actually a really good fighter in and of himself. He has a lot of armor. He has some really good skills, so he gives out extra melee attack and leadership whenever he's fighting Chaos, Undead, and Greenskins, so that's super handy. And then he gives out a lot of leadership with this, and then I believe he has something that gives a big aura here. You have Virtue of Empathy for an extra 25% aura. And one of the huge things with him as well is the new Knight's Vow system. He starts off with all the vows. This takes forever to do these, particularly the campaign pledge. So this is a very, very big deal that he starts off with all these vows, because it's going to give him an additional 25% leadership. This leadership is huge because Brettonians have really low leadership to begin with. It's like lower than, it's like on par with Skaven to start with. They're like really low tier undead units. Their leadership is just terrible among their peasantry. So having that extra leadership buff is pretty massive. And he's going to get upkeep reduction on all the knights. That means we can get the knights really early on and not have to worry as much about, you know, huge upkeep costs on that. So that's really handy. And he has perfect vigor. So it's just a much better situation to start off with than the Fey Enchantress. She's a really good sort of supplementary lord, but he's really who you want if you're looking for ideal play here. And of course, this capital is much better positioned as well. I think, because you can go aggressive on people early on, like Marienburg and Skull Smashers. Like, you have some people you can fight. Whereas with the Fey Enchantress, you can't really go aggressive on the Elves early. They have really strong garrisons. You can go against the Skull Smashers, but Talia's really far out of your way. Like, trying to fight these humans over here is pretty far out of your way. And then you have the Dread Fleet over here, which is very difficult to deal with as well. So this just has much more approachable enemies early on that you can take down.
Absolutely not.
And one of the biggest things about Brettonians is you just want to try to confederate as fast as possible. They are really weak in terms of the early game and their infantry and that type of stuff, but that's made up for by the fact that you get huge confederations. You just have the ability to basically automatically confederate with all the other Brettonians. It just takes a little bit of time to build that up. So that's where you want to go with your techs ASAP. Is just trying to build up that confederation. And we're going to go for Bordello because it has a really nice port. And it also has a lot of wine. So I think that Bordello is a great place to start with. And then we'll eventually go over towards the Fey Enchantress. But I think that Bordello is really the place to be.
I am the blood
Okay, so let's go ahead and get a fight here on the first turn. We should be able to beat him. We do have a sorceress. We might be able to put her in our army, actually, and fight. I think we'll still have enough movement speed. We may not be able to chase.
I will be rewarded.
I think, yeah, we'll still be able to chase, I think.
Cleanse
So let's see if we can take them down. Now, we do have to be careful if they have a lot of spears, because Carl is on a horse. And in general, cavalry is something that I'm not a huge fan of with most factions because it relies so much on charge bonus and charge cycling, and if you just get gummed up if they have a bunch of spears or halberds and you can't charge cycle properly, then you're going to be a lot less effective. And also, obviously, when you're turning your back to run away, they get a ton of free hits on you. So charge cycling comes at a pretty steep cost.
Refuse. Leoncour.
Okay, but I think we can still beat him. Hopefully our odds are better than that. But let's go ahead and do it. So yeah, Brettonians, they have an alternate win condition where you get this thing, honor, and if you want to take gold out of combat, like if you want to make money after a fight, you have to sacrifice honor, which kind of sucks. You have to, you don't have to, but you can use that honor in different situations as well. But yeah, doing things like, I think sacking costs you honor as well. So it's really hard to win the game if you're trying to make money. But fortunately, you do have a very strong economy if you get a lot of property. So you want to try to get as much property as possible with the Brettonians. Now they're going to have much, much stronger front line than we do. I forgot to look to see how much... oh, here we go. We can just look here and see. So they have 2 spears. Okay, so we need to be very careful about those spears. Now, Leoncour starts with a much stronger base army as well. These Pegasus Knights are tremendously strong. All you get are Grail Guardians, I think, when you start with the Fey Enchantress, which are good, but this one you get 2 Grail Knights and you get 2 Pegasus Knights, and those are both pretty strong early on, especially the Pegasus Knights. Those are tier 4 knights. So, like I said, Leoncour himself is pretty strong as well.
Trebuchet!
We could actually go back a little bit. Well, they do have a mortar also. Guess this is fine. No, you know what? I'm gonna go back a little bit more because I want to try to draw them out to me as much as possible so I can flank. Okay, that should still be able to hit them.
Spearman at arms.
Damsel!
Peasant bowman.
Pull those up front.
Show us the foe.
We fight for Brettonia! Protect Brettonia!
Knights of the Iron.
We of course just want to watch out for
Wise indeed. The lady wills it.
we always have harmonic convergence here, which is a pretty good buff.
King Luen Leoncour, glory to Brettonia.
Okay, so they're trying to fire on some of these, so we're just gonna run these around a little bit.
Swiftly, moving a base.
And you want to always try to aim for front if you can.
Crush them all.
Knock those out. And then we just want to kind of come over here and just menace them a little bit. Just kind of look scary. Freak them out a little bit. They did improve the AI with this most recent patch as well, which is pretty good. So we're just going to try to scare him a little bit here.
Awaiting orders. Knights of the realm. What do you mean? We obey.
Try to hit these spears up if we can.
At speed. At once. Advance. Swiftly. Yes. Hastily.
Release!
So we're just gonna Like I said, we just want to freak them out, so we have artillery advantage as well. So if they just want to run circles with us, I'm perfectly cool with that.
Knights of the realm, immediately!
On to glory! Build trebuchet!
Knights of the air! Post haste! What? Haste! Take the ground! I honor my vow! At speeds! Swiftly! Bows high! Knights of the air! For the king! King Leoncour! Heavy for battle! Awaiting order!
Ready for battle! Bretonians, attack!
Bound by
Yeah, we just have too much mobility. They can't handle this, I think.
Peasant bowmen! Stick 'em good! Riding out! Knights of the realm! Moving a base! At once!
What? At speed!
Peasant bowmen! Moving a base! On to glory!
Put it!
Knights! Show us the foe!
Brave knights! Put it! For Our Lady! Build trebuchet!
By the lady! Ready! With haste! Post haste! Stick 'em good! Knights of the air! Take the ground! Pegasus Knights! Charge! Knights of the air! At speed!
Not with those dudes firing again.
Immediately! Lords! Swiftly! Show us the foe! Post haste!
Oh, there we go.
Stop! Pegasus!
Yo, boys, get down here. Kill them.
Champion of the lady! The lady wins it! Chef
Don't fire around,
dead!
dudes.
Quick march!
Chill. Alright, we'll speed this up. We need to run down as many as we can so they can't run back into their old castle. I don't think they're going to get to run anymore, but... yeah, this feels a lot cleaner than the Fey Enchantress. Just, like, these Pegasus Knights just add so much extra dimension, so much extra mobility early on. And having 2 Grail Knights is really nice too. And just Carl, just someone who can go up and actually fight their lord early on. Very handy indeed. I'm gonna try to do it without farming the Greenskin incursion or whatever. I feel like that's just like, that's the way that they really want you to do it, but maybe I can just like go just bum rush Marienburg and do it that way. I really like being aggressive, trying to get in a little trouble, have a little fun in a campaign. But it is difficult early game with Brettonia, but maybe with these Pegasus Knights I can do it. So that was pretty clean. We didn't lose hardly anything there. We get a lot of movement speed too. Like his part of his faction-wide buff is 10% movement speed for everybody, and then part of one of those vows, the questing vow, you get an additional 10%. So he starts off with 20% campaign movement range, which is very nice. So you get -5 chivalry if you go for that. Or you can get replenishment. I mean, the money's obviously extremely good early on. You do still get some chivalry. I think you get 10 whenever you win a fight. So we could use 5 of it for 400 treasury. We do need the money. 400's not a lot, though. Maybe just execute and get the leadership. I think we'll go with that. Leadership's going to be really important if we want to try to do this siege.
The lady calls.
Nice, and we get Blessing of the Lady. So this is a buff that you get, which gives everybody like 20% physical resist. So like everybody has this now, which is huge, huge, huge. And you only lose it if you lose a battle. So if you have that, if your whole army has 20% leadership, then that's pretty massive. And then I think there's something you can get that gives you armor as well. That's for Battle Pilgrims, Foot Squires. That's a pretty big upgrade. This, the leadership, is a big deal as well. Now, basic training to give everybody vigor loss reduction is also pretty massive. This character's aura leadership is very sweet too, though. I might just go for Inspiring Presence. Because he has perfect vigor, Carl does. I'll just go with that. Okay, so yeah, I think we can go for a siege on turn 1 here. Now, they do have 3 halberdiers, but they don't have a lord there. 2 crossbows. We could pop... Can we pop off this horse? We can't pop off this turn. We're not at war with Skull Smashers, are we? Not yet. Not yet. So we could use our, this to break open some walls and try to fight them that way. It's going to be hard taking halberds as Carl. Now, if we can flank, like, with the Pegasus Knights and take down a lot of their stuff, though. Like, we could swarm their lord and potentially swordsmen, just anything else that's, like, not on the wall. Let's do it, hell. Let's go hard here on turn 1. I'm down.
The lady and my right.
We won that last fight pretty decisively. So we're going to have to use the catapults to take down a couple of the walls. Hopefully we have enough ammo to do that. If we can do that, I think if we can get in there behind them, then we should be able to take them out. Now, like I said, it's going to be hard because these halberds hard counter our cav. But I think we can do it. Let's do it. And we only have harmonic convergence. If we had the wind spell is actually pretty good, I think, for Heaven's Magic. Life Magic is historically one of my favorites, but Heaven's is actually pretty good. So we need to try to take out their lord, and if we can grab the archers and all the swordsmen, hopefully we can beat back the rest of them. Halberds don't have shields, so they are vulnerable to archers. Okay. It's pretty symmetrical. This could definitely be a little brazen to try to go for this, but we're going to roll with it. Okay, so we just want to be over here and just limit this surface area as much as possible. We don't want to be too far in the trees, though. We want to try to knock out this tower.
Awaiting orders. What do you
And see if we can knock out a couple of walls.
We serve the king.
Carl did take a couple of hits last time.
King Leoncour.
They're not Carl. I always want to call him Carl for Carl friends. Leoncour. Sorry, blasphemy.
Pegasus Knights. Battle ready. Fail trebuchet. Platinum. Apace.
See if we can run out here with Carl and just like bait some
Quickly
shots from the arrows.
By the lady. With speed. With all haste. Now. Swiftly. Post haste. Advance. At once. Backing up.
Priestess of the Lady!
Swiftly. On.
Maybe fly around with these. Okay, so they're actually pretty smart. They recognize I'm trying to juke them. It's taking a while to knock this out.
As you say. On. To
Oh, no, not that.
Take the ground. Advance.
Where are those? Okay, so. This up a little bit here. Whoa, that range. Jeez, okay. I mean, they're just gonna keep firing on the artillery. It takes forever. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Wow. What is that range? Let's see here. Alright, so we need to probably fire on this. Get them off that wall. If they're still standing there when the wall collapses, it'll kill them. I think they're gonna run now. Yeah. But we just need to break this open so that we can get in there without having to climb. Are there halberds over here? There are no halberds. Oh yeah, there are. There are some on the front here.
Peasant bowmen, we serve!
Platinum. For the Grail.
We don't have any magic we can use on them. I'm gonna try to soften these guys up a little bit though. So if we can get inside the town and actually get some flanks, I don't know, these halberds are still gonna be frustrating.
We fight for Brettonia!
Almost out of ammo here, but we've got 2 openings, so that should be fine.
Crush them all. Crush them all. The lady's chosen.
Ready for battle!
For Fortune favors you.
Peasant bowman! Run, man! Run!
Protect Brettonia!
Fire!
Pegasus Knights! Swiftly! Post haste!
Peasant bowman!
Glory awaits! Immediately!
Target! Release! Man of Brettonia!
Smash him! Pegasus Knights! Flatten them!
Archers! Hurry! Brettonians, attack!
Charge!
Peasant bowman!
What do you need?
Peasant bowman!
On to glory! Field trebuchet! Battle ready! We obey!
You know, I need to win this really cleanly because we're gonna have to run back and deal with some greenskin incursions most likely, and we might have to try to kill the skull smashers pretty quickly here.
Launch! Show us the foe! Don't stop! Remember your vows! We are the lady wills it! Yes, my lord!
Peasant bowman!
Do you have any bowmen over here? No. Okay.
Clear out!
Should be able to roll over there.
Awaiting orders!
There's actually nothing over here.
Fill them with holes!
I think we might be able to smash these halberds.
Quickly!
Knights of the realm! Drive them
If we
down!
just get a nice flank here.
With haste! It shall be done! At speed!
Like, yeah, halberds are good against cav, but like this mini cav, especially when you're getting sandwiched in front, you should be able to clean that up.
Bowman! Ready! Quickly, lads!
Not that many cav.
Peasant bowman! At once!
The flying cav are something that Brettonians have that are like
Serve
very
and
unique
obey!
compared to other ones. Like their assortment of flying cav. So
Immediately!
Knights of the Ring! Moving a base! Peasant bowman! Quick march!
Apace! As you say! Quick march! Pegasus Knights!
we don't have any archers, right? No. So we can just kind of walk in here and just look scary. Oh, they do have a couple of
For
archers.
the
Okay.
lady! Peasant bowman!
Pegasus Knights!
Priestess of the lady.
Peasant bowman!
Run! Loose! I honor my vow! At once!
Knights of the Ring! The lady wills it!
Nope.
Your
Get out,
behest.
get out, get out, get out, get out.
Apex. Forthwith.
Ready!
Peasant bowman! Noble knights! Moving a base!
Sorceress! Hurry!
To victor!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Put it! At once! Hold steady! Peasant bowman!
Knights of Brettonia! Glory to Brettonia!
Child of light!
Peasant bowman! Ulrich's chief!
Biggest knights! Full tilt!
Knights of the realm!
Biggest knights! Bound by honor!
Bowman! Aye! Peasant bowman! Ready for orders! At once!
With all haste! For glory!
Get him! Ready for
And these knights are not very good if they just sit there in combat, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta...
peasant bowman!
I know it sounds like it seems like I'm being maybe a little ridiculous here with how careful I'm being, but I'm telling you, like, you can definitely get outclassed by some of these halberds and even the swords if you're not watching out.
Aye! We obey!
That's what it's doing.
At once! Lances ready!
We are ready! Knights of the rear! Shut it down! We serve our liege!
Riding out!
Knights of the realm! We obey! For Brettonia!
Moving a base! With speed! Very well!
Protect Brettonia!
Oh, we ran out of ammo. Okay.
We obey! Right, man!
We got it. Nice. Couple of pretty decent fights right off the bat. We'll give a shout out to Sammy for this as well. I remember that Sammy was wanting to sponsor a campaign. He said, whichever one you want to do. So shout out to Sammy and Adam for donating for this. There might have been some other people that wanted to donate for Brettonia too. So if there are, I'll definitely give them a shout out the next couple of episodes. Okay, cool. Chivalry. Could sack it, which would be worth a lot. But you lose 30 chivalry. You do not want to go below a certain amount on chivalry. It really hurts your army. Minus 100, you definitely never want to burn. I guess if it's like something evil, I think you might gain chivalry for burning it, but...
For glory!
We have to get a point harmonic to keep going down towards Wind Blast. Midnight Wind is actually pretty good too. Minus 30 armor and 26 melee attack. It's very, very good against Empire because most of them have like 30 armor to start with. So that takes them down to 0 armor. And then here, I think we just want Lowborn Militia. Although there's definitely an argument to be made for basic training. That's your entire Lord's army, is vigor loss reduction, including the horses. So I think we have to go for that. He does have Royal Insignia, which is recruitment duration -1 for the flying stuff, which is fantastic. So I think I might actually go with basic training here. So we have so many knights that are so strong right now. Okay, so we grabbed a Marienburg port, which is amazing. We also have Cinnabar. I don't think we have any trade partners, but totally okay with that. Now we get some extra growth off of Village. Brettonians have really nice growth, and then their secondary towns come automatically with walls at tier 2. So you have very good public order and very good growth. Their towns are great. It's just their some of their units require a little bit of extra
You seek the lady's
extra
favor.
care early on.
Stop pushing it.
So he has a Doom Diver. I don't think we can beat them right away. Like I said, they've got 12 here. We're gonna have to hire more units. So they have 20. So maybe one more turn. If we can come over here and fight for one more turn, we might be able to get them. Insane. Could get some mounted yeomen. Are there upgrades for
King Leoncour.
artillery for yeomen? Spearmen at arms. Okay, so that's charge bonus for knights. The Pegasus Knight bonus is pretty poor. Just the speed and the charge bonus is not that great. But these are really good, like Grail Knights, Battle Pilgrims, and Foot Squires, and Lowborn Militia. Spearmen at arms and men at arms. Now, does that include the halberd version? Spearmen at arms. Men at arms. Those are men at arms and halberds, so I think it does include them. Let me see if we can trade or not with anybody. Yeah, it looks like we probably should. We are getting kind of.
Lord of welcome to fair Brettonia.
Okay, we already have a non-aggro with them, so yeah.
Just so.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to play like super friendly with everybody.
Never!
As much as we can.
Do you know who I am?
Gotta be careful with
grants
defensive
you
alliances,
safe
but
passage in these lands. Yes.
I think they are top on our list of places that we can confederate with early. And you actually get a bonus when you confederate with Brettonians. Instead of having public order penalties, I'm pretty sure that you get public order bonuses and things like that.
Dark are these. You may think your quest a noble one. Naturally.
But yeah, they definitely band together a lot.
Those who the lady grants you her
She won't trade with us.
Lord
trade.
of the laws of chivalry demand I hear you. I never fail.
Okay. So they like us, but a lot of other people don't. Empire actually doesn't mind us. They like that we killed Marienburg, so we could play nice with Empire if we wanted to. Midland
What?
is okay. Where are we going to want to kill? I mean, we're going to confederate with all of these guys. We probably need to kill the bad things in here. Undead and Duke. And then we might have to go through and start killing Empire. It's going to be very difficult to siege them. Although we could play nice with them and just start killing Chaos up here. Pretty sure we can't. We might be able to occupy, but I don't think so. There's so much corruption there. We'll see. I guess we could go kill some elves also if we wanted to.
From across the Grey Mountains.
I think it makes the most sense to start killing all the humans, though. We have a decent matchup against them early game. Once they get great swords, it's tougher. But we might need somebody we can kill. Skull Smasher. Oh, we are at war with Skull Smashers. Okay, I didn't realize that. So we're already at war with them. Who doesn't like? Obviously, Norskins don't like us. We could try to kill them. High Elves do not like us. So I have to go deal with them. And then, of course, like Musion and Barrow Legion are not going to like us. We'll have a few people we can kill here. I think Artois is first up on our Confederation list here. So we can confederate with Artois and then kill Barrow Legion. So we just wipe out some vampires first and then go from there. Some extra armor for Lords and Heroes. Okay, so I think with Couronne we can... We definitely want to build that up. Public order wise... I think we're going to have to recruit. We're probably good to level this up. I'm pretty sure we're going to trade. We have a lot of trade partners. No, these trade partners are going to evaporate, though. I'm pretty sure this is what, yellow over here? Yeah. So it's doable. It's doable. Like, we could try to occupy all this stuff if we want to go over here and start a war with them. They are kind of hard to beat, though, because they're going to have a lot of Sea Guard.
Of course.
And like, they have a lot of spears. So that could potentially be a little rough on us. They don't have good infantry, though. Like, our Battle Pilgrims could probably beat them if we get enough upgrades. But do I want to go Clay Pit here for some extra money, or do I just want to go, like, Growth? Growth is pretty important early on, and it's kind of hard to come by. We could go Peasant Economy, but this is the most money we can get. It's like 300 gold a turn, and it's not affected by the Peasant Economy, so if we get more peasants, that doesn't hurt us. Or we could just go for, like, stables and get some yeomen who do count as peasants, but they're fairly strong, and these yeoman archers can be pretty good in certain situations. Against, like, Greenskins, or, like, they're pretty good at skirmishing, like, spears and things like that. If we could just use our cavalry to go neutralize their archers. And we're going to have to get this anyways, because at level 2, we want the Paladin for sure. He has this nice buff for Leoncour, sorry, to 18% extra physical. And he's a pretty good fighter. So we definitely want this guy at level 2. So maybe we just go ahead and grab this. Our money's pretty good right now. Money's pretty solid. So we're probably good to do that. And I'm pretty sure we'll be able to support that, right? So we'll go ahead and upgrade that one extra tier. Okay, and over here we want probably just growth. Could also do recruitment capacity, because next turn we're going to want to go over there and recruit more. Probably go over our cap a little bit on the peasant economy just to make sure we can kill these guys. Just take it up to 20. 20 units. So we could just do local recruitment capacity. Let's just do it that way. Okay, and we talk to everybody that we need to talk to, I believe.
What?
That might give us
Friends of the Empire, come, a fool's action.
What I want to do with them yet. I think that's it. Midland. Okay. Yeah, Yeah, this start feels much, much better than the Fey Enchantress. Like, infinitely better. So we've got Artois, Paravon, and then Alberic as far as early confederations. And we're at 45 minutes. I guess that would do for a good first episode. I need to keep these to about 45 to an hour. But we need to go finish up Gorcel also before they get too strong. I don't think we can hit them this turn, but Skull Smashers are something we definitely have to deal with. They are going to do, there's going to be an event, I think, where we start getting all these incursions. It's like -20 public order every turn. And so we'll just have to constantly fight Greenskins, which I'm okay with. I mean, to an extent. You know, it does give you a lot of honor, it gives you a lot of gold, a ton of levels early on. I wish we could fight them here, but they're like hiring so much stuff that it's going to be really hard to take them early on. Yeah. Now, Carl does get big buffs. Is that his whole army gets this? Yeah. 8 melee attack and 12 leadership. I mean...
Stop pushing
9, and that's like 21 units. I feel like that's going to be very difficult to deal with. Without having more units.
By Sigma, no!
Okay, so I cannot hit that this turn to finish up this province. Gorcel doesn't have much, right? No. We can go kill them anytime. But I need to hire. So, I mean, we could go kill them in 2 turns, but then we wouldn't be able to hire anymore. I think we gotta go hire. If they want to come out on me, I think we can definitely kill them. Let's just go to like right here. Edge of town. Okay. So what do we want here? Peasant bowmen are
I shall do
good.
what I can. $27, 30. No, let's see. So we get. What's the comparison of these two? This guy has more melee attack, more weapon strength, but less defense. This guy, how much versus large? 15. So it's a pretty good amount versus large. I mean, maybe with all the leadership buffs with Carl, we can beat him. So how much do they have? Is like 22 or something. You seek counsel?
That's a lot of spears. I think. I'm trying to envision. They don't have that many archers, probably. They're just like their most dangerous thing are these orc boys. So maybe like just
ready.
2 archers and 4 of these. And we might be able to hit them next turn off of that. We are going to go over the cap on peasant economy. But we might be able to get them next turn. Okay. So we're going to stick with that.
No evil. The lady grants you her blessings.
Okay.
Armored in faith.
I mean, as soon as we finish the tech, like, they are going to, I mean, pretty much automatically, if you spend enough gold or you spend enough honor, then they will confederate with you.
Protector of the welcome, friends.
Like, they're pretty much forced to confederate with you. Oh, I do have a non-aggro with the Empire already, I guess.
Hail to Leoncour. How can the Empire aid you in such...
so we'll have to save this for next episode. We'll scout it out and see if we want to go hit the Greenskins. I mean, it's not going to get any better. You know, our option is basically we hit them next turn with our 19 stack, or we just deal with the Greenskin incursions and just say whatever and just farm Greenskin rebellions for a few turns. It is going to be a bit harder because Marienburg, I'm not going to be able, because we're going to have rebellions in both provinces basically constantly. And so that means one of those rebellions is going to go up to like a 20 stack before I can deal with it. But I will be getting a ton of gold and a ton of chivalry the whole time off of killing those. I don't like doing that. I don't like farming rebellions early on. Are they coming out on me? Ooh, okay. You know what? Because it's the first episode, I think I'll go ahead and fight this. Goblins, orc boys. Usually I need to make these 45 minutes, but because it's the first episode, we'll see if we can get 3 fights in here. I think we can beat this. We have the Blessing of the Lady. We have Carl's leadership buff. 8. Yeah, it's 13 on 13. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so if we win this decisively, we should be able to go crush their homeland. That'll stop the rebellion garbage, and then we can go finish up Marienburg, and then just sort of work our way down and start fighting undead, probably. We might have to wait until we get to tier 3 for some more knights, but we'll definitely start being a bit more aggressive. We could also just go start... I guess we can't start fighting Empire yet, because... we have a non-aggro with them.
What do you bid?
I mean, we could just leave Carl alone and fight the other, like Midland and all that stuff if we want to, or just start messing with Chaos or High Elves. I mean, we got a lot of different options.
You require magic.
These are Vanguard also, so that means we can get some good sight of them. Now this map is a little unusual because we're downhill and there's nothing we can really do about that. Yeah, this looks fine.
Awaiting orders.
Priestess of the Lady.
Carl also gets some pretty nice mounts fairly early on. I think level 7 he gets a decent little mount.
We are ready. Immediately.
Where are they? There's the reinforcements, but where's the main army? Oh, it's over here.
Ready to fire! Launch! Protect Brettonia! Quick, march! Clear out! Battle ready! With haste!
Biggest knights! Hastily! Full deals! What do you need? I honor my vow!
Crush them all! For the lady!
Full deals! Moving a base! Glory calls!
Peasant bowman! Draw! Loose! Release! Doing our duty!
Ready for battle! Post haste!
Knights of the realm! Post haste! Quick now!
Hastily! At once! Battle
Yo, boys,
ready!
get out. Okay, they're out.
Immediately! Pegasus Knights! Show us the foe! Of the lady! 'Tis an honor! Glory awaits! Post haste! Cut them down! For the king! Knights of the realm! Break them! Field trebuchet! Person bowman! All knights! I honor my vow! Biggest knights! At speed! With haste! At once! Fighters! Awaiting orders! Strike them! Ready for battle! Spearmen at arms! Knights of the realm! Break them! Field trebuchet! Flatten them! Biggest knights! To my banner! With speed! Quick! March! Quick now! Fill 'em with holes! Biggest knights! What do you beat? Take the ground! Stick 'em guard! Ready for battle! Biggest knights! At once! Moving a base! Knights of the realm! Post haste!
It shall be!
Men of Brettonia! Battle ready! Immediately! Knights of the realm! The lion's will! Full tilt! We serve the king! Trebuchet crew! Knights of the realm! Immediately! What? At speed! Swiftly! Ready for battle! Pegasus Knights! Full tilt! Smash 'em! For the king! Spearmen at arms! At once! Noble knights! At once! Knights of Brettonia! Honor the lady! King of Brettonia! Biggest knights!
It is her will!
More knights! Moving a base! Aye!
Field trebuchet! We are ready! March hard!
Swiftly!
Battle calls!
Damsel! Power of the lady!
We serve our liege!
Knights of the realm! Show us the foe! We fight for Brettonia! Bruce!
Quick now! At speed! Post haste!
We are ready! It shall be done! For the king! Show us the foe! Trample them! Knights of the realm!
Ready for battle!
Pegasus Knights! Break them!
Sorceress!
Person bowman!
With haste!
For my liege!
Alright. That's cool. That's about an hour. But we need to kill as many as we possibly can, because they're probably going to get away. Most likely. Get him, Carl. And they're still very tired. Even though we have that vigor loss reduction. It's still handy, though, I think. They're gonna probably try to run back into their town. I'm gonna try to get as many as we can here. Yeah, you gotta try to micro them and just get the army to break up and just kind of run around. We definitely have a very suspicious front line. The foot squires are not that bad, especially for their cost. If you can get a lot of foot squires in your army, then those can be, you know, pretty decent front line. You know, say at least have 70 armor, so they're no great sword, but they can kind of hold the line. But they are tier 4, so that's the thing. Is like, I think later on they can be okay, but you have to micro a lot with the horses. Like you can see, they just constantly in and out, harassment, just picking off their weakest lines. Then while you're running around, you know, you're hitting them with your missiles, your artillery. You can get some poisoned arrows as well, which are pretty nice for slowing people down and just allowing your cab to do their thing. These Knights of the Realm are actually, like, they're pretty good if they don't stay in combat. If you get to hit them with that charge, they can definitely clean some people up. Yeah, if they just stick in combat against these orc boys, then the orc boys can do a lot of damage to them. Yeah, so next turn we're going to have to try to take out their main town, which should be a lot more doable, because now we're going to get those 5 units. Armor piercing. Go get that to Pegasus Knights. Pegasus Knights are so huge. Like, it's hard to overstate just how strong those units are. Like how useful they are to the Brettonians. Yeah, let's just go leadership. Our money's doing all right. I don't want to use chivalry for that. So as your chivalry meter goes up, I haven't really shown that, I don't guess yet, but as it goes up, you get a bunch of different perks, and that's how you win the game, is eventually you get a lot of chivalry. So you can't really get a lot of money from cashing in at the end of fights, but you do get a lot off your towns. And your units overall are pretty cheap. The knights can get expensive. Got our royal standard here, so farm income minus 8%. So like the farms look really good. It's like, oh my god, look at all that money off these farms, you know, 500 to get 300 per turn. But the problem is, once you start going over on the peasant economy and everything is a peasant, literally everything that's not one of these mounted knights is considered a peasant. So if you start doing that, then the money on this goes down. If you go super far over the line on the peasant economy, then it starts to affect the leadership of peasants in your army. And maybe other stats too, I'm not sure. So you got to be really careful, but you can go a little bit over. Each time, or each town that you have, I believe, gives you an extra 2 It might only be one, but I think it gives you 2 peasants per additional town. So you want to get as many towns as possible.
Jog off.
And you need to operate with as few armies as possible, too, so you don't go over the limit. But your units are like dirt cheap. You know, it's like 70 gold each for these little dinky units. Even your knights, like 262 is pretty expensive. But yeah, you can't even get those types of knights unless you pay up. But these are definitely worth it. Especially the Pegasus Knights are very, very good. You do have a bunch of anti-large, so it does give you superiority over a lot of other types of knights out there. Potentially. It's not going to beat demigriffs. Not your lower tier stuff. But it's still going to be really solid.
Champion of the lady.
And then as you go up through here, like if we get to rank 2, you get extra 4 leadership. For here, 6 leadership. Extra rank on Brettonia Knights. And you can call in the Green Knight. He was a really cool kind of hero class unit. Now, it's totally possible that the Green Knight might be able to break walls. I'm not sure. That would be sweet if he does. But, he only lasts for so many turns. I think it's like 15 turns or something. But he is pretty handy. But I'm pretty sure they increase the amount of chivalry you need to win by a substantial amount. Like right now we only have 40, and we need to get up to 2,000. So you got to win a lot of fights, pretty much, in order to get a bunch of chivalry. So, and we're going to have to spend some of the chivalry soon, doing some of the things we need to do. Okay, so we could just clean this guy up. I'm not sure if we'll have enough movement left to kill them, because he's going to run. Although he's already run once, he may not be able to run again, but the thing is we'll be able to level up if we kill him. So that'll make us a bit stronger for the next fight. But we'll figure it out next time. So anyways, thank you very much. This is a great first episode. We got 3 fights in here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to shut up this Grung Zent here.
Jog off.
And yeah, we're just going to push forward, probably clean this out, and then we'll come through, probably try to take out Blackstone Post sometime soon. We'll finish off Marienburg, hopefully soon.
Strength and honor.
And then we'll probably knock out the dwarfs so that we can just complete this province eventually. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to hold it to start with. We can definitely try to go for Blackstone Post. I think once we get a couple of paladins, we should be able to climb up on the walls with him. A couple of paladins and some magic, some wind magic. And clean up the walls. Yeah, he doesn't have that many great duelist things. But we should be able to make it work. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the rest of the content as well. I will have new episodes of this coming out soon. We have a ton of other legendary campaigns on the channel as well, and I just released a 2-part combat guide. So 1 is understanding the combat stats in depth, and then 2 is understanding some of the different factions' strengths and weaknesses and how to fight on the field a little bit better. And I also have a complete beginner's guide to Total War that's pretty long. About an hour and a half long, but it'll tell you everything you need to know about the game, how it works, and how you can perform well at it. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.